my channel and the third episode of this dining room makeover. Now in the first episode you saw me build this stunning dining room buffet, and the second episode I painted walls, plus I built the coffee cabinet that's sitting over there. And now in this third episode we are essentially going to do everything else. While the first two episodes were mostly focused on building furniture, this one is more going to be focusing on decorating, organizing and finalizing everything. We still have to finish the dining room table, and we are also going to paint the glass doors that separate the dining room from the living room. However, once that's done, we are going to spend quite some time decorating. I have a lot of wall art that I collected over the past few months, and I kind of want to create a beautiful gallery wall behind you over the dining room table. And then also we will organize the dining room buffet and also my display cabinet over there. If you love decorating as much as I do, I think you're going to love this episode. And I think without further ado, let's just get started. If you see something in the background, yes, we already did put our unfinished dining room table in here. We did it for two reasons. The first one being that we kind of wanted to see what the table looks like in the room. Also like with the thought in mind that we do still have to choose a stain for the table. And second of all, we just really wanted to start doing puzzles. Okay, so now the doors. I did already choose a color. It's truthfully quite similar to the one that's on the doors right now. I still wanted the doors to be light, however I wanted to get rid of the yellow tinge, and so the color I chose is called Toffee Caramel. So it has a bit more of an orange undertone, and I hope that that's going to give the effect that I want. Now before I can get started with painting, I do have quite a lot of prep work to do, especially with the glass paneling. I think I'm just going to get that done quickly, then I'll see you back here once I'm ready to paint. Just to give you an idea, it took me 15 minutes to just mask this single one glass panel on one side. So I'll have to do 4 more here, 5 on the other side, 20, so 29 panels, 29 multiplied by 15 minutes, which kind of means that this is a matter of hours. So as you can see, it did take a while, however the table is done, and so now I can get started with the paint. Okay, I have to admit, the color looks way more pink than I thought it would. I mean, I tested it. It looked like it had an undertone of orange, but like now that I'm painting it on the door, it looks like it has an undertone of pink. I don't know. So it's 2 days later, and I think I've come to a decision. regarding the paint on the door. Now the thing is, despite it not being exactly the color I envisioned it to be, I think I'm still gonna go with it, mainly for the reason that I did go back to the hardware store and I looked at a few other color options, but there was not really an option that was better than this one. So I think for now we are going to stick with it. In other news, I thought about it and I think I want to remove the middle door panel. The thing is, we don't ever close it, so it only takes up space. And I think it would look actually better if we only had the left and the right door panel left, so it's more of an archway or like a walk through rather than a door. So I think the next step is to remove this panel and then we can continue painting the rest. So the paint is dry and the only thing left to do is to take off the masking tape and see what the final result looks like. So in the meantime we actually did finish the puzzle, so it's time to take our dining room table back downstairs. Now before we do that though, I'm going to test some stains on it, so we are going to do that next. I think we have a winner. I tested basically all the stains that I own. We came to the conclusion that we like this one best. It's dark walnut, and for one we really like the color, and second of all it has the advantage that it also has sealer in it, so we can basically color and seal the table all in one. So let's go! Before we could get started on the stain, we did have to do some more sanding because there were still quite a few uneven spots, especially on the table legs. But eventually it was finally time to start applying the stain. finally have our dining room table in here, which is honestly awesome because now we officially have all of the big furniture pieces in here. So we are a huge step closer to actually being finished. Now this also means that we can finally start the decorating process. There's still one more project I want to do. Well, I think I first want to get started with the gallery wall and kind of finish up this area of the room. Now I think the next step is to go get all of the art pieces I have collected over the last few months. Okay, so I think these four I want to on the gallery wall regardless. So I'm going to take these as my base and then kind of look at what else I have and see what goes best with them. I have four of these, one for each season. This one is the one for autumn. This one is a calendar from 1992. It has like really cute images of fruit and plants. I especially like this one and that one. That one is really beautiful, honestly. So I think I'm gonna keep this here. Oh, yeah. This is the winter one. This is the summer one. And this is the spring one. They're really beautiful. Okay. Now the rest in here are actually mostly picture frames, so I'm going to leave them in there. So, then I got this really gorgeous print. Maybe that's more so something for the kitchen? I don't know. This one might work. These are pages from an old encyclopedia. At least one of them will go here. Maybe two. I have one that's like poisonous plants and I'm not sure if I'm going to put those above the dining room table. So maybe I'll keep that one for somewhere else around the house. So I'll just put them here, I think. Oh yeah, then I have this really random print. I think it's supposed to be giraffes, but they look really weird. I found it and I thought they looked like mystical, magical creatures, which is why I bought it. I'm not sure if they fit in here, so maybe it's gonna go in here. I think they put it in the lily pile. That's already it. Now truthfully, we don't have that much to put on this wall. It always looks like I have a lot of art, but mostly I have a lot of frames because when I go secondhand shopping and I see one that might work, I usually get it because oftentimes secondhand picture frames are like 1 to 2 euros, which is a really great price, especially if you compare that to buying them new where they will often cost at least 15 euros. I think the next step is to take everything off the table that I'm sure I won't use and then maybe think about a layout for the images that I do want to use. Okay, now that I reorganized everything, I only have the art pieces left on the table that are quite likely going to make it onto the gallery wall. And so I think I'm just going to test and see what layout could work. If you have seen my autumn decorations video, you will recognize these books. I used images of these books to decorate for autumn, and I thought that maybe if I end up with blank spaces on my gallery wall, I could maybe fill them up with images from these books as well. So yeah, I guess let's create this gallery wall, shall we? Okay, I think I am mostly happy with this side. Like this side kind of feels incomplete to me. I think we are first going to tackle the frames and then put the first images on the wall and go from there. Okay, change of plans. Now, I did go over the layout one more time and I did change a few things here, and I like this better, but it may still change. In terms of picture frames, I do have to go out and get 2 more. However, I think I'm going to do that tomorrow, so this is as far as we are going to get for the gallery wall today. I do have one more project I want to tackle, and so I think we are going to move on to that one next. Now, the project I was talking about is actually shelving above the coffee cabinet. Now, in truth, I always had quite a specific vision for how that shelving should look like. What I mean by that is I actually always envisioned having wooden shelves with brass brackets underneath, but I always envisioned having that brass railing going around my shelves. I did look extensively for both things, but I did not find anything. I mean, for the shelf brackets, I did find a few things, but they were either not the size that I needed them to be, or they were really expensive, or they could just not be shipped to where I live. Same for the railing. So I had to pivot. I did find something that might work. I found it secondhand for I think 14 euros, which is honestly great, so I got it, and truthfully I have already started renovating it. I'm not going to change very much about it. There were weirdly crooked hooks on the piece, and so I removed those. And then I cut off some of the sides because I wanted the sides to be flat. I already sanded the sides, and now actually the only thing that's left to do is to put on stain. So I think I'm going to get changed, and I'll do that right away. Just one color. So next we are going to attach the shelf to the wall. Truthfully, I'm a bit scared to do this. I hope this works. As you can see, the shelving is up, which means that we can now officially start decorating. So I think it's now finally time to finish the gallery wall. I did go out and buy the picture frames that I was missing. My next step is going to be to put all of the prints and art pieces into their respective picture frames, and then we can already get started and hang everything on the wall.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise.
It's the next day now. Yesterday we ended up finishing the gallery wall, which, by the way, I think it turned out even better than I imagined it would, which makes me honestly really happy. So let's start decorating the rest of this room. So this is our drinks cabinet. The idea is to put all our alcoholic as well as non-alcoholic drinks in there for when we have guests over. Since we did not have a dining room table until very recently, we also did not have that many guests yet. So naturally this cabinet is quite empty still. The only two things we do actually have are two non-alcoholic gin bottles. Now on the second shelf on the back, the two cups you can see, those are Vietnamese Phen cups, and we got them in Hanoi a few years back. This however also meant that for the rest of the trip I had to carry them around in my backpack, but we got them home safely. And the teapot at the front, we actually got that on a trip to Taiwan. So these are actually quite precious to us, which is why we wanted to display them. As you can see, yesterday I did end up putting some things on the shelves already. However, this is not a definite setup yet. I more so did it to get a feel for how I could start decorating the shelves. So today we're actually going to tackle them for real. That I'm still putting up autumn decorations. That's because I'm filming this at the beginning of November, and usually I do not start decorating for Christmas until the last week of November. But this does mean that my autumn decorations still have a good 2 weeks left. Next, let's move on to where this whole dining room makeover endeavor started, which is the dining room buffet. Most of our not so everyday china is in the cabinet. I'm next going to tackle the decorations and art above the dining room buffet. Now I did already put this art piece up yesterday, however something about the setup, I'm not quite happy with it yet. Something's missing, I don't know yet what, but I guess we'll have to do some trying to find out. So in truth, I realized that I may just be one of those people that do not like one single big art piece. I prefer to have like smaller art pieces, but then more of them. And with that, the dining room is officially finished. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. I mean, even the things that I was not sure about while doing it ended up fitting perfectly. Now, does that mean that our dining room is finished? Truthfully, no. There are still a few things I want to do. For instance, I do want to paint the lamp we have in here. Currently it's blue and I would like to change it to something else. Also, we would like to call an electrician and install a few more power plugs next to the dining room buffet. We also may put in a rug or something like that, but that's all stuff that's still going to take a while to figure out. For now, the dining room is finished. The things we did do in here, I'm not going to change those anymore. They are permanent now. However, there are a few small projects still that I would like to tackle for it to be finished. Now, you may wonder, what's next? We have a lot of rooms that are unfinished, a lot of projects that need tackling. I do want to tackle the kitchen in the not so distant future. Still have to finish our living room. Also, the Christmas season is coming up, so there will be decoration and DIY videos for that. Now, if you like this video and this series in general, I hope you consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. And apart from that, the only thing left to do is to wish you a very lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye!